Okay, so here we are starting off at the Lake Sabrina trailhead. Very nice day, probably 70 degrees, light wind. The view of the Sabrina Dam. Yes, there's like a little place you can go down there and rent boats. Nice parking lot. Yeah, it rained last night, so the trail's nice. No dust at all. It's part of the joy of being in the Sierras is it rains a lot, so there's always water. So the first part of the hike, you're just walking along the lake. There's looking back at the resort. Very nice little trail, very dappled sunlight. Always a nice sign to see. My good friend John Muir. I've got some fishermen down there. Coming up on the end of the lake. Going up there somewhere. That's one of the joys of going on hikes. You're never quite sure where the trail leads you. Kind of like life, I guess. So this is the little takeoff to George Lake. So going up the switchbacks, there's the end of the lake. Now we're going up that cliff I showed you. Lots of little switchbacks going up. It looks a lot steeper than it is. So here's looking down on Lake Sabrina. We came up this trail right here, and you can see that's the trail that goes off to George Lake that I pointed out earlier. So down there is Bishop, and still going up. There haven't been too many people. I'd probably say 8 to 10 people in the past hour. That's not bad. You know you're spoiled when you have stairs. in. I can't imagine how much work it is to put all these rocks in place. There's been a lot of dogs on this trail. That I can say. I probably passed up 5 or 6 dogs. So I'd say probably going up through this pass, if I had to guess. More stairs. Stop it, you're spoiling me. True hikers are supposed to scratch and claw their way up every bit. Coming up on a little lake. It rained pretty good last night. Probably got at least a couple inches. Lots of thunder and lightning. As you can see, the tread is nice and almost dry. It still gets a lot of dust on it. But that's where we're going. Amazing. Boy, you can barely put the just camera down. Pretty amazing stuff. Beautiful little forest walk. So we just turned right towards Dingleberry Lake.
This is where we come back. We didn't even go very far. But as I recall, the weather was also looking really bad.
So we're still on the road to Dingleberry Lake. It's a pretty little woods. Pretty flat once you leave the Blue Lake. Beautiful views. If you're going to come to this trail, nothing but views. Further up on the road to Midnight Lake, go across this nice little granite slab. Somebody was kind enough to place all these nice rocks and a little bit of mule poop. Must be on the right trail. Beautiful view, it's just amazing. trail and a stock trail.
So we're about to go to the junction.
We're almost up to Midnight Lake. Really pretty little falls over here. Coming up on Midnight Lake. Look at this. Boy, very impressive.
Lunchtime.
And we're coming up on lunchtime. Boy, the Hall of the Mountain King. Just some people have lunch at McDonald's. This is a much nicer place to have lunch. So today's lunch, pretty much the same as every day's lunch. It's tortilla with some cheese and turkey and mustard, and boy, it's good. One more look from our lunch spot. Apparently this is Mount Mindel, and right in front of us is Mount Darwin. It's pretty much just us here. So the good thing about being a day hiker is you have cold beer waiting for you on the way back down. So heading back down to the campsite. It took us about 3 hours to get here, and it'll take us about probably 2.5 hours to get back home.